and then I press it. He says, good evening, everyone watching around the world, as there probably will be. Got a different one tonight because we've got 5 people. I'm not used to there being so many people on my screen. So first of all, I'm going to go to Kyle. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to have all the dogs in the building today. We're missing Lee, obviously, and a few others. But yeah, I'm glad to have all the dogs here today.
Posh, it's not your first time, as I'm going to have to say every time now. I lost count of how many times it is. How you doing?
It's more than 2. I know that for a fact. Yeah, I'm doing great, thank you. Obviously, for obvious reasons, I'm a bit nervous about tomorrow. I think you know why, Sam. But apart from that, I'm doing very good, thank you.
Good. I'm going to mix it up. I'm not going to go around in order. So we've got someone who has been sitting in the background waiting. Right time to join. Zach, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
Good. So like when Barry came on last time, Zach's the one that lives close to me. We have always spoke about wrestling together, but then obviously we went to a few independent shows. So yeah, that's a little bit of an introduction. Realised that we, us British folk, have been saying your name wrong the whole time. We've been calling. I've been informed we're getting it very wrong because we have the spelling of we have an English name spelt like that, and that's how we would pronounce it. But yeah, this whole time we've been pronouncing your name wrong.
So yeah, my name is Devon Rucker. But you know, I have heard it a lot, and honestly, at this point, if it's close, I will still answer to it.
Ace, how you doing?
Doing pretty good today. It's a good afternoon so far.
As always, our first viewer to always comment in the stream is Lee. It's almost like he's in on and he knows when we're going to start.
He's a loyal viewer.
So
he's a real dog.
For sure. Right. I'm going to get. I've had these set up for weeks, but I've not really used them very much. So to make the when my StreamYard decides to work, to make it look a little bit nicer, eventually it might go up to where I want it to go. It's not going to do that. My StreamYard is just freezing.
Nice.
The
timing is impeccable.
I know.
So all these people, I'll let that do its thing. It'll hopefully work in a minute. But what?
Sam,
here we go. In a second, you should see, which alludes to what show I'm talking about.
Smackdown.
And we've got there. So, as of yesterday, yeah, I've not really got a great deal to say, to be honest. basically all that happened was it was match after match after match. There was a couple of segments that was talking, which potentially set up a couple of Mania matches. One being Jade Cargill, etc., etc. That match looks like it's going to be Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair and Naomi versus Asuka, Dakota Kai, and Kairi Sane. So that looks like one of them. And the other one is setting up another tag team match, which is going to be Dom and Santos Escobar against Rey Mysterio and but the initials of them and
Dragon Lee.
Yeah. What? That's it. DL. That's what Dragon Lee stands for. So yeah.
How can you not know the newest member of LWO?
Fantastic. So let's see. That's the benefit of having 5 people, I suppose, is that somebody can fill
One
in.
of us
So
will
yeah,
get.
that's
One of us
basically
will
the
always
two
get
things.
it.
Yeah, for sure. So that's basically the 2 big things that happened on SmackDown, because the rest were just matches that, it didn't really make much sense. They were just kind of thrown on. So, I will then quickly do my magic again. And go to Raw. So obviously we are almost a week past the last Raw. I've got some notes. There was a couple of really good segments, but we were kind of back to the mainly bore fest that is Monday Night Raws. We did get a couple of good segments though, so I can't call it absolutely terrible. So we got Cody Rhodes started in the ring right at the start, kind of cut a promo and got the crowd on his side and kind of said, "You're going to be in this fight with me." And then kind of went on this spiel. Rock then came out and just stared at him. They were both just staring at each other. I was sat there thinking, microphone's going to come out in a minute. He's going to say something. No, absolutely nothing at all. Just stared at each other as if they're a long-lost couple that was just reconnecting. And then...
If you could call it that at the end, that's some kind of reconnecting at the end.
Yeah.
What do you mean? They're soulmates. They're destined to be bound to each other.
Wrestlemania bound.
Yeah, I think so. I think after this, they're going to be like a successful tag team after this.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see
Hey,
it.
you're right with Jay.
So, yeah, that was that. The next good bit was CM Punk coming out and basically alluding to a few things. He, at one point, thought he was going to be the referee for the match between Seth and Drew. But then he said that wouldn't be very good because he would probably choose one side and not the other. He then kind of started saying a little bit more, and then Drew came out, as he does each time somebody kind of speaks remotely about him. So he came out, he had a t-shirt on saying that he basically injured him. They went back and forth a little bit. The standout line probably from this promo was that Punk spends all of his time in rehab because the context to that before was that he doesn't drink or do drugs. But for somebody that doesn't do either of those things, he spends an awful lot of time in rehab. The last couple of weeks, they've really liked the drug-fueled kind of arguments. And I don't know. I think if you're doing
The Rock
something
talking about cocaine at one point, didn't a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Well, he caught the crowd crackheads and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, kind of.
And then
PG is dead. Hold on.
And then the week after, Seth called himself a spotlight junkie and like shooted up in his arm. So yeah, they're really into their drug paraphernalia at the minute. But I think they're overdoing it just a little bit. just a little bit.
It's WWE.
So based on those,
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
half
not everything.
those years
Two
ago,
things.
isn't it?
yeah. So I guess this is kind of an open question to everyone. Based on those things, because obviously we're a week out of WrestleMania. Based on those things, do those two promos get you any more excited than what you already were before for these two matches? I'm not going to go hand in order. I just want to kind of get everybody's thoughts, whoever wants to start.
Yeah, I would say the Rock and Cody one got me like pretty excited just seeing like Cody get beat up and everything. Got me I was like that's pretty cool. I like to see the like when they use blood properly. And then I think the Seth and stuff, like I thought that was just funny. People, I guess when you just say rehab place, the first thing you do think of is like drug rehabilitation, but like there are like plenty of like physical rehab places. It's just funny. That's like the first thing people think of, and the fact that you can just say that, and then people immediately be like, "Oh, that's funny," because they just put the two and two together immediately. But yeah, I thought they were both pretty good.
Yeah, I certainly kind of think, obviously going on to the end of the end of the show when we had that whole kind of I don't know what it was really. It was weird. Holding up like different signs to do with Cody's mom, and like it was just for me it was okay. But I think it carried on for too long. I think they could have done that like really short, snappy, just to end it, and then I think that would have been more of a like a shocking thing. So if they'd have come in and just panned the camera on when Cody was bleeding, and then Rock said something after that, I think that would have done the trick better than what it did.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that, Posh?
I thought the ending to Raw was excellent. I do understand where you're coming from with the whole, kind of overdoing it, but it is almost very rare for WWE to produce a particular angle like that, especially if it involves blood. And I thought they did very well with it. I think it definitely upped the ante in what is already quite an exciting storyline. And they've made it certainly more tense. And I'm looking forward to this to both the tag match and Roman Cody at Mania. They've got so many layers to it as well. So yeah, I thought the ending to Raw was very good. Definitely something you don't see every day when it comes to WWE programming. Angle as like non-PG as that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I said, I did enjoy it, but I just think sometimes probably I'm a little bit too harsh. I probably watch wrestling for too long, and I probably am too harsh, especially on WWE. But yeah, I certainly think it was something different. Hopefully, we see a little bit more of that. Reading between the lines and the reports and stuff, they're hoping that they're able to kind of cut those angles and things like that a little bit more than they normally would have. So yeah, I don't know if Kyle or Zach's got any final thoughts before we move over to the other side of the wrestling world.
Well, I think Posh covered it really. What I thought it was brilliant, and like as a person who loves that hardcore non-PG style, it definitely made me more interested. Not that I wasn't interested anyway, because I was, but they've done a good job of keeping people interested with that and keeping it or making it more tense, as Posh said. So I think they've done a good job there, to be fair.
I think
I do think you're right. Go on, Zach.
Sorry, Sam, I've got a delay on my stream. I was just going to say
me.
my thinking of the ending was Rock took, much like me, too long to talk. It was just sort of like you need to speed it up. If you want it to be punchy, which the action was, the talking was just slow. It was just sort of like, okay, you're losing me now, you're losing me now. Oh, you beat him up again. Okay, you're talking again, you're talking again. But what I like is you genuinely don't know what way it's going to go. Like we can make the predictions of what's going to happen at Mania, but I've not got a clue.
Mm-mm.
I think all of us could have a different opinion, and it'll be the sixth option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm enjoying.
Yeah, you don't want it to be. You don't want it to be obvious in any way. So I think that's what they aim to do. Like they aim to obviously make potentially, if there's 5 of us like there is tonight, they would want each one of us to have a completely different view on what could happen. So I think they've been really successful in that, and I think looking at WrestleMania that we've got at the moment as a whole, I think they've certainly done everything that they can to make it the best possible Mania that they can do for the 40th WrestleMania. So I'm really pleased at that. So I'm going to catch up with some comments. When my StreamYard wasn't working, this was when Lee made a comment that we should start a GoFundMe. I also need to just ring up BT and question as to why StreamYard doesn't like my internet, but we all know that will be quite painful to do. So Rock said to Cody, I'm going to make you bleed tonight.
Oh, that's what he whispered.
Sounds really weird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It does. That does.
Out of context, most of wrestling is weird.
True. And then like how the beatdown continued off air. Great work. Lee is WWE's biggest fan today. So let me get my take away the Raw and bring up AEW. Again, like I mentioned in the last couple of weeks, it must be really hard work for them. Everybody's given them quite on the, like, when you read into like Raw, Smackdown and what everybody thinks, they're giving them a lot of of crap for this week's AEW, but I actually really don't think it's justified at all. So starting off was the Ospreay and Shibata match. Obviously, a little bit of context behind this. Bryan Danielson fought Shibata last week or a couple of weeks ago. After the match, he basically said that Ospreay's not fit to lace up his shoes, etc., etc., etc. Ospreay said, "Well, let me show you. Then I'm going to wrestle him, and then we'll see. What you all think. But make sure you watch." So I knew from the get-go this was going to be a really good match. It was. If it had gone a little bit longer, it would probably have been worthy of like a pay-per-view match, because they're both just incredibly technical wrestlers. So yeah, that was a really good way to start off. It's not very often that I watch the matches on a weekly episodic show because they're normally just pretty dire. So it was actually nice to sit down and watch a match and it'd be really good. So then we had a couple of tag team tournament matches, which is basically like a little tournament for the tag championships. So the Young Bucks won on one side against Private Party, and then the Best Friends won also on their side against the Undisputed Kingdom, who are the ROH tag team champs as well. So that's quite an achievement for them. So they're both through to the quarterfinals, I want to say now. But I imagine it's tying up, and the match of the final will be on the Dynasty pay-per-view. Speaking of the Dynasty pay-per-view, the other thing was that there was a qualifying match for the women's title between 4 people. Mercedes Moné, or Sasha Banks, as I would better call her, was one of those people in that match. You would have said you'd have put your house on the fact that she would be winning that match. She actually didn't, which was really surprising. But yeah, it's not to happen. So what? I've put a surname. So again, I need to get better on my notes. Nightingale, wrestler, Willow Nightingale.
To be fair, you make more notes on this channel than I do on Gooner Gathering. So
I've put
Sam, I was thinking about you earlier because I was like doing a reaction, like a movie reaction, and I was thinking like I should take notes for like my commentary later. I didn't though, but I should have. I should start doing that.
Yeah. See, like it does help, like when you. Yeah, it does help when you when you're hosting the show. I think it helps. Like when you're a guest, I never take any notes because you just get asked questions mainly. But as a host, it just makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah.
I can. I mean,
I
I agree with you there because I come into
obviously,
Gooner Gathering videos with no prep at all, and you can ask Lee Meadows about that. He'll agree with me.
Yeah, I think both me and Posh were very alike in that we didn't take notes, and then as I drifted away from just being a guest and became a host, I was like, yeah, Lee was right. You do actually need notes. Else,
and he's really good at that.
Just speaking random fun. Yeah, he sits there for hours. I can't say that I was sitting there for that long.
Extra shout out to Lee.
But yeah, for sure. So that's basically it. Normally takes a lot longer because normally we've got more to talk about, but obviously we don't. So before we go on to the main part of today's show, does anybody have any overarching thoughts of this week in wrestling and or any other news that they've seen and would like to mention?
No, I'm excited. That's all. I'm excited.
Yeah. I can't wait for WrestleMania, you know?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is funny you should say that. It's a true story of him taking notes. It's funny you should mention WrestleMania. It's almost as if it's a week away, isn't it?
Man.
So the bit that I'm really excited about is the predictions. Obviously, currently, myself and the guests are level in terms of being the joint champs of the Predictions Championship, the Top Dawg Championship, as we're going to call it. But I know the last time that we were on air that Heel Batman wants something to say about that. So yeah. I will. So I've kind of combined, instead of having Heel Batman as another person, I've combined the two together, and Kyle has become Heel Batman.
We don't know what's going on with
I'm just trying to find a pen. Because
he's disappeared. I don't know what happened to him. What is going on with Kyle?
whatever will happen when he turns his camera back on.
Oh my God.
Whatever will happen. I did have a
while
pen.
that's happening, I did have one thing to say. Oh my gosh.
Go on.
Who is this? Who is this guy?
What happened?
Oh my gosh. It's Heel Batman himself. Well, Heel Batman, I was gonna say last time we did the predictions, me and Posh decided, we were working together, and we were making the prediction for the Sting and Darby Allin match. And I initially said Sting's going to win. Now, I should not have changed that because Sting ended up winning. And then I thought about it like, wait, of course they would give away the championships before they lost or they left. But of course, this is AEW. They don't have to give the belts out. But, when a guy retires, it's like, just let the one guy who's still there keep both belts and then tell him like, oh, well, now you have to give them away because your partner retired. I wouldn't have planned it that way, but that's why I don't own AEW. So I just want to throw that out there.
See, I think that's the next. I think that's the next logical step for Wrestle, to be honest, is to set up their own wrestling promotion altogether.
Yeah. Dawg Championship Wrestling coming soon.
Ooh, that's a good title.
There we go.
DWC.
Yeah,
DCW.
like, you can make some
DCW.
factions. Yeah,
DCW.
I believe in being amazing.
DCW.
That's perfect.
So, this is where things get a little bit tense. This is where things get a little bit exciting. This is where things get a little bit mysterious. And hopefully, this is not where we all end up start falling out. I will remind everyone that it is competition.
Okay.
This is real
competition done with grace. It's competition done with grace, and
this means something. This means something. And I am in.
It's a fake belt.
I have it in hand right now, and I know it's not mine, but it will be mine. Mark my words, Sam. It will be mine at Mania. Trust me. I'll have to send it you in the post or something.
All talk.
I'm sorry. There are few things funnier than seeing heel Batman say, I'll have to send it to you in the post. That is one of the funniest things.
Breaking kayfabe.
Courier service.
It's not very.
It's the gimmick.
It's like hearing Undertaker say he has to go to the post office. Like, I just don't imagine the Undertaker. I never thought about what Undertaker does with his mail before. Like, it's like that.
See, that's heel Batman for you. He's unlike anyone we've seen.
It really is. He's a complete character. Like,
I'm unpredictable.
Yeah.
He's an enigma.
I would love to see. I would love to see the old deer behind the desk at the post office. In walk style. Or Neil Batman.
I will look at it like this.
Yes.
Put that in the box. I had that upside down the whole time.
Yes. As only heel Batman.
And it would just be. See, the thing is, they always have to ask what it is that you're sending as well. So if you'd be like, oh, heel Batman, what is it that you're sending? Oh, it's a championship belt. And she's like, what, the one for children? They're like, no, it's for 5 growing adults and more on a YouTube channel.
I say, this means something, lady.
Hey, yeah, it means the world to us.
Don't disrespect it.
I hope I win it so it's international shipping.
Yeah. I think on Devon's behalf, we'll let the guests have it in the UK and not spend like 50 or 60 quid just to get it over to Devon.
That's funny.
So, I don't know where to start, really. I'm going to start on the ones that don't really mean a great deal. But this is where the points could be. This is where the night could be won or lost from these couple of matches that aren't title matches. But, yeah, this is where things could be won or lost. So, They haven't been confirmed yet, but they're basically all but confirmed. So, like I mentioned earlier, the Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi versus Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai. So, my thinking behind this one is that they've tried to get people that all should be in a WrestleMania match and just put them together. I'm not particularly that pleased with it because I really want to see Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair after kind of the stare down they had at the Rumble. But I suppose the way in which they look at it is at least they've got a match. So I see this going this way because I don't think they would want this person to lose, because I don't think she's going to have a match before WrestleMania. So I think this would be like her first match in WWE. So for that reason, I'm going to give it to the team of Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. I think it'd be one of those ones that might surprise, doesn't it? It might end up being a really good match because obviously there's a lot of talented wrestlers in it. But it's not certainly one that I will be jumping out of my seat, so excited to watch. To be honest, it could even be on like a pre-show at this point. It could be on one of the pre-shows because I would imagine that the pre-shows for WrestleMania may be a little bit longer than the pre-shows for a normal pay-per-view. So yeah, gonna go to guests. I don't know who's going to speak on your behalf or whether you're going to collectively come together and make a decision. So I would like a decision for the guests for this match.
What we thinking, boys?
I don't think they'll have Jade lose in her first match. I actually agree with Sam. Really, I think the thrown together tag team will win this. I think we will get a bit of simmering tension at some point between Jade and Bianca, and they'll try and slowly build that to a match somewhere down the line. But I think the Jade, Bianca, and Naomi will win. I mean, that's what I think. I don't know about anyone else.
I agree with you.
Yeah, well, on my predictions, so obviously you've got Damage Control, and then on my predictions I just wrote Beefy Girls as the name. Which obviously Bianca and Jade units. But like you said, I don't see them getting Jade Cargill, considering how much they hyped her when she first came. I don't see them getting her to lose on the first WrestleMania that she's on. I can kind of see the tension between Jade and Bianca building in the match, like, you know how they had the thing in the Royal Rumble where they were just sort of out-strengthening each other. It was just like something like that. So you've just got Kairi on one of their shoulders, Asuka on the other, and they're just like squatting them in the middle of the ring for fun. I can just see it like that.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be funny.
I'm going to make a note of that, and I will give out an extra point for that one.
Squat. Yeah, screw the match. We're just having a gym sesh.
So squats, and then I'm going to put BB and JC. So if that happens, I will hand out an extra point to the guests if that happens. So heel Batman. I'm not going to put K at the top. I'm going to put HB for heel Batman. So heel Batman. First of all, thank you for gracing us with your presence this evening. How do you see this match going?
Well, Sam, obviously you lot agree with the Beefy Girls taking the dub.
Yeah.
And I think heel Batman, to make it exciting, has to do the one thing that makes sense and go against that, right? So I'm going to go Damage Control. And I believe that that's exactly what will happen. That's gonna happen. Damage Control will take the dub.
Dang. That almost made me want to change my prediction. But I'm with the group.
It's
Lee
fate.
said-
Don't let him get to you. I know.
I'm
I know
trying,
he's.
I'm trying. He's so convincing.
I know he's convincing, but hold your nerve.
He's convincing, and I can see how they would do it, but I don't believe they
It's
will.
the
He's starting to get Zach now. Damn it.
yeah. Oh, see, you've got to go by your judgment. You've got to just go by your judgment. So the other one is going to be Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar against Rey Mysterio and, like Zach said before, and I do know what DL means now. It means Dragon Lee. So I'm going to shoot again with my prediction, but then for the rest of the time, I'm going to let others do it first. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So this match is quite interesting, I think, because you've got the whole kind of angle that we had last year with Ray and Dominic kind of facing each other. We've kind of got that again, but in different circumstances. Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar kind of make sense because they're very much alike in their wrestling styles. So my thinking behind this is that it will be Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. My feeling being is because kind of Dom doesn't have. If you look at Judgment Day, Dom is the only one pretty much without a title, and JD McDonough potentially. So those two haven't got a title. So I think they've got to give Dominic his kind of WrestleMania moment. So that's why I see it being that way. So I've gone for Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Heel Batman. Are you going to go to the reverse again? Or
Well, actually, Sam, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. But that's the only one tonight, all right? Every other one, I think fate has decided that I'm just gonna win.
You're making the decision already, Heel Batman?
That's it. That's my
Wow.
decision right there.
wow,
I mean, who am I to disagree with Heel Batman? But you know, wow.
Might have to be tactical here.
Yeah, I'm more
I
impressed.
don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if this match is confirmed because I was having a look at I was having a look at Wikipedia to see if the matches were what matches they were, and I didn't see that match on there. But if it is confirmed, then if it is going to be there, then
It's not confirmed yet.
okay.
It's not confirmed yet, but based on what is and what it was, there's a couple of websites that have added those two matches to the match card. So, yeah. So basically, that's why I added them because I looked at the amount of matches we've got bar these two, and it certainly doesn't make up for 2 nights worth of shows. So that's why I added them in. Obviously, if this changes, I will take them off the predictions, and I will just quickly get predictions of whatever else matches. So guests, what is your pick?
Well, I completely forgot about this. I reckon that this one might be the pre-show one match if they do a pre-show match, just because it's got the least amount of build-up. I think that Ray and Dragon Lee are going to get it, and I'll explain the reasoning later on because it goes with some of my other predictions. I think there's going to be a lot of turmoil.
Is there, as the two guests, are you going to take that as the prediction?
I personally don't mind at all.
Yeah,
If
I don't
we
really
go against Heel Batman, then it's fine by me. We're being tactical here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really didn't know about this match here. I was actually also looking at the matches on like WWE.com. So yeah, let's go Ray.
Right. So there's a couple of matches more that aren't title matches. I think these two are quite interesting because I think these two matches could go either way. Certainly one could go either way, I think. So, without me giving the prediction first, I'm going to go straight to the guests for LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
Ooh, what a match.
What are we thinking here?
I personally am thinking that LA Knight might take the dub here.
See,
it's-
we're connected.
Yeah.
Okay. if you're going that's fine.
Yeah, I just thought it would be nice to see LA Knight get that push, especially since he's already kind of got a lot of the audience attention, and while he's still hot, make sure he gets a winning match at WrestleMania. I think that'll be like, if I was in charge of like making sure those type of things went through, that's the push I would make for him right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. The only thing that I'd want is I want them to put a stipulation in. I don't think it should just be a straight one-on-one. I think there should be some sort of stipulation. I don't really mind what it is. Possibly a street fight, considering that you had the segment where LA Knight was outside Styles' house, but just any sort of stipulation.
Like a steel cage match?
Yeah, steel cage, maybe.
Yeah, I do think you could be right in that, because as I look down the pay-per-view, there isn't kind of any stipulations really, apart from the
six-pack,
the kind of the ladder match, and then it's not really a stipulation, but it kind of is that with a tag match, if the next night, whether Bloodline are there or not. And then apart from that, it's not really anything else, to be honest. So yeah, I think you're right. It probably would make sense for it to be a stipulation, whatever that might be. So yeah, I kind of agree. In terms of if the thing that bothers me a little bit though is that for me AJ Styles is wildly kind of disrespected almost by the WWE because he's probably one of the talented wrestlers they have on the roster in terms of like a technical wrestler, but he's never, I don't think, quote me if I'm wrong, he's never really had that much of a big push apart from when he first kind of debuted in WWE. There hasn't been kind of much after that. So I actually think he must be fairly annoyed at the lack of, because he's never really even been in many, he has been in some sort of main events for title matches and stuff, but he hasn't been in as many as he should have been. So I think he's massively underused. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had him to beat LA Knight, but I don't think, because WWE know how much the fans like LA Knight, I don't think they're gonna allow him to lose at WrestleMania. So I've gone for LA Knight, but I would be really quite pleased if AJ Styles did win. Heel Batman. I know you have a very different view of the world than we do. So give us your prediction.
Well, I love both of these guys. I love a bit of AJ Styles. You can't not love a bit of AJ Styles. One of the greatest, in my opinion. However, you can't go against LA Knight right now. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You can't go against him right now. So I'm gonna have to wait. What did the guests say? Did the guests say, what was your decision?
We all said LA Knight as well.
We're influencing heel Batman.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, how the tide is turning.
Oh man.
I have no choice. I have to. Yeah.
Yeah. Down to win.
So Lee agrees with his guests. To win. He also agrees with LA Knight to win. And we have a new name in the chat.
Hey.
Which brings on a very interesting point, actually, because I forgot about this completely. So thank you for tuning in, first of all, and leaving a comment. I think that's a very interesting dynamic, to be fair, because I forgot about that completely. So I think that would make a lot of sense. I don't quite know where he cashes in and which match he cashes in on. I don't imagine they would want to overshadow the main event at all. So that leaves you with 2 matches potentially. Leaves you with the Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens match, or the Seth and Drew match. So yeah, I think that's an interesting dynamic. I certainly haven't thought of that before. So thanks for dropping that in. Certainly got me thinking. So yeah, we've got those 3 matches, and we're going on to kind of the big matches now. So I believe those 3 could be really where the game's won or lost, to be honest, because I think there's a few of these that are very predictable, and then a few that are not. So I think this is an interesting one. So I'm going to go for the ladder match now. Just to remind everyone of what we've got. So we've got Judgment Day, obviously the champs, DIY, New Day, Awesome Truth, A-Town something. I can't read my own writing. And then the New Catch Republic. That's the one. So I think this is really interesting because I could see it going a couple of ways. I honestly would really like to see DIY win it. So that's why I put them down as my pick. I think they've been given a lot. I think they've been given a push quite recently, quite a lot of it. So I think that could happen. My only other thoughts are that it could be Awesome Truth, to be fair, but they haven't really had much of a say in kind of the last couple of weeks. So they haven't built them up as such. So that's why I didn't put them down. I think, so realistically, I think 2 things could happen. I think it's going to be DIY will be new champs or Judgment Day will retain. But I'm going to go with DIY to be the new champs. Certainly looking forward to DIY and New Catch Republic kind of blow for blow with each other. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really good match. It's one of these ones that I'm really looking forward to. So, heel Batman. I know you're a fan of the hardcore, and I know you're a fan of ladder matches. So, how do you see this one going down?
I don't know, it's a tough one. There's multiple, like you said, I could see it going multiple ways. But I think, let me just process it through my big bat brain of mine. I think that who did you say DIY are gonna win?
Yes.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with you, Sam, to be honest. I think that's quite logical, but I'm heel Batman, so what am I doing? No, I don't know. I'm gonna go Awesome Truth. Awesome Truth are gonna do it.
Nice.
Oh, I'm gonna lose this belt clearly. Why am I doing this?
See, it's not. He was really clever at the start of this episode, but the cracks are starting to show now for Batman, and he's not as confident as he was anymore. So
I love how he
what-
does say he's gonna disagree with us for every one of these, and this is like the third one in a row. But he switched it this time. He switched it.
I'm gonna have to go Awesome Truth. I'm gonna have to. I'm sticking with it.
Let's go. Who we do we go? Did the guests go?
Yeah, on mine, I've got DIY or Awesome Truth. I think they're the two teams that they've been pushing the most out of the 6. As much as I want Newcastle Republic to win, I think their time will come later in the year at one of the other big 4.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to be Tyler Bates just going to be the spot monkey with Kofi in that match. He's young. He's younger than me, and he is just insane. But yeah, I reckon it's either DIY because I'll just finally give them the big moment that they both deserve, or it'll be R-Truth somehow screwing the Judgment Day over.
Yeah, I just thought of that actually.
Is there a way he can screw
on.
over Judgment Day that makes them want him into the group?
He grabs the belt and goes to Damien going, We've won! Look!
Yeah, it'll just
He gives it to Priest and he goes, what are you doing?
And then they're just like, you know what? You're in. Come
It's my
on.
partner. Look, he's over there.
And then they all just embrace him. That'd be hilarious.
Oh.
I think this will be the start of what I mentioned earlier with the Judgment Day turmoil. I think there's going to be a full implosion of the Judgment Day over the course of the 2 nights of WrestleMania. So I think that Judgment Day are losing the titles. I don't know entirely how they're going to do it, but it'll be the start of the break in Judgment Day. So Priest will be annoyed. He'll cash in on the Rollins and McIntyre match. I'll talk about that when we get to that match. But yeah, I think this will be the start point of the implosion of Judgment Day. Because they've not outright done anything with it, but there's been underlying things building up over months from what I've seen of Judgment Day breaking up. And I think they'll do it here.
It's the place to do it.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
The biggest stage.
So I'm not sure who you want to go with, but pretty much anyone but Judgment Day.
I think.
Can I have a final answer?
Do-do-do.
Me and Devon just looking at each other going, who's going first?
You got first, losers.
I don't know. Should we go with the wild card as well? Like, which in my opinion is R-Truth.
I'm tempted by it, but
Do you want to run and get a coin? We'll just flip it.
I've got one here.
Okay.
Ever the professionals on this channel.
Because it's like, okay, you guys both seem to think it's either going to be the end of the group or the end of the tag team, which in both scenarios, losing this match would be like the best way to kind of start that off. So yeah, let's just go with R-Truth. Also, what's that? Awesome
Right.
Truth, yeah.
Awesome Truth it is.
That gives me more
going
confidence.
to be a top
Now we're starting to get
So-
turned over by heel Batman. We're starting to believe everything he says.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is what he wants. He wants you to all fight amongst yourselves, so he can seize power over the guests.
Mm.
This is what's going on here.
Diabolical.
So, next up, this is one that's also, I think, could go a number of different ways because Jay and Jimmy was a late inclusion to WrestleMania, really. So, in that aspect, they haven't really had time to kind of build up as much of a storyline. You kind of have to read between the lines of what has happened before and kind of piece it together because of that. So it's almost like a mystery, really, as to which way this is going to go. So I actually did go away and kind of look at other people's views because I was literally straight down the middle. I thought to myself, I don't really know which way this is going to go. I don't know enough about what's been happening over the last few years to piece that together. So I went away and kind of read some bits from various different people. And I've come to the conclusion that it will be Jey Uso that wins. Guess what you're thinking.
See, I have I just for no reason I have a feeling that that Jimmy might win, but it's up to the other people to see what they think. I don't just make the decision for them.
I choose the Oos.
Yeah, I think the Uso is going to win. That's what I think.
I don't know. Like, which one is because I'm not like the most hip on the two of them. So which one is Yeet and which one is no Yeet?
Jay is the one that says that.
Okay, I'm going Yeet.
All right then.
Yeah, this is probably the one that I struggled with the most because Jay's red hot, so people want him to win because Jimmy's bloodline, but at the same time, I can see Jimmy winning because they'll just be like, we can't give you everything you want on WrestleMania. We're WWE. That's not how that works.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna piss you off somehow. But I have gone Jay. Pretty much just that's because that's what I want.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to make an executive decision because we also have Lee in the comments that also says Jay. So unfortunately, Posh, it's going to be Jay for the guests. I have to go.
That's fine. No, I'm more than happy. I'm more than
heel
happy to go with
Batman. Heel Batman. This is one that you will be accustomed to because obviously as heel Batman, I think you piss a lot of people off because you're kind of this maverick.
Cheers, Sam.
As heel Batman, not as Kyle. As heel Batman, he stands on his own, takes on the competition head first. So, heel Batman, how do you see this fight between a family going?
Well, actually, there's a massive story to this because it sort of plays into what I think will happen at the end of Mania. But to not already, sorry. Let me start again. To not ruin all that and get all that in now and leave that for when we actually get to it. I'm sticking to the Uso match. You'd think that as a heel, Batman, I'd choose the heel, but I'm going to choose the face this time because I think, like I said, it'll play into the end, and I don't want to say too much, but I think they will make amends after the match. I think the face wins. Jimmy realizes, like, right, that's my brother right there. Let's make amends, and then maybe something else happens at the end. I'm not going to get to that, like I said. but I'm gonna go Jay.
Okay. So, I am going to ask you both women's matches at the same time. So, I would like a prediction for Rhea and Becky Lynch and Io Sky and Bailey. From heel Batman first. I would like a prediction for each of those.
Wait, which ones? Sorry.
So Io Sky
Io
is
Sky
one
and
title
Bailey.
women's title match.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch in the other one.
For the Io Sky and Bailey, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Bailey again, just because she won the Rumble, and it's like they love Bailey. Do you know what I mean? But and for the Rhea one, I think the obvious decision is Rhea, and I'm gonna go for that obvious reason, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, so my predictions are the same as your Batman this time. This is why I put his views on this one first, so that he couldn't do the opposite to all of us. So he had to use his own intuition for that one. So guests, those two matches, how do you see them going?
So first I want to say I read like this comment like crazy for a second. The implosion leading to Rhea face turn. I read that completely different for a second. It was like, wait, what's happening? I don't think they're going to show that one on a normal WrestleMania. But I actually do want to go for Bailey. I think we watched the Royal Rumble together, and I think my feelings on Bailey should be widely known. I think she's attractive, and that is why I want to see her on top. As far as Rhea, I also the same thing goes, but I also think Rhea can wrestle better. Like, literally the exact same two rules apply, but I think she also can wrestle too, and I appreciate that as well.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with Devon there, but it means that I'm gonna have to agree with heel Batman again. It's almost like it's all part of his plan or something. I think Bailey and Rhea. I think I agree.
Yeah, I know I've been going on about the Judgment Day implosion, but we all know Rhea's the leader, and I think she's the only one that's going to stand tall out of all of them, and it's going to lead to some payoff the Raw after WrestleMania, where she basically just goes, possibly beats the shit out of them. It's just sort of like, I am Rhea Ripley.
I'm thinking of like a Triple H face turn, like a turn from like DX, where Triple H doesn't need to lose for DX to break apart, you know? Like he can win and he could still be like, I don't need Road Dogg and Mr. Ass, you know? So
yeah. And I think I just saw the comment from Pedro pop up about the Bailey and Io match. It's just like Io in the ring is exciting. Anywhere else is just sort of like, oh, Io's that.
Yeah.
It's not excited me at all.
I think they're the two matches when I look down on it. I thought those would be the two matches where we'd all be in agreement, because I think although in some of the others we've been in agreement, it's been for sometimes different reasons. But I think these two and another match I'm going to mention in a second are the really obvious ones. So again, I'm going to ask you it in two parts. So Gunther and Sami Zayn as one of them, and then the triple threat is the other one. So Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. I'm really looking forward to that Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul match. I think great. I'm pleased that they've carried on the Logan Paul and Kevin Owens, because I was really disappointed when they actually put that match together, because the build up to that was insane, and the match just didn't kind of match up to that. So, my thoughts: Gunther and Sami Zayn. I think that's quite straightforward. I think it will be a good match. I think Sami Zayn will make a good account of himself, but I don't think they're going to take the title off Gunther. I also kind of looked at the pay-per-view as a whole and kind of said they're not going to change every single title, but they'll have to change some of them. So my thoughts were, right, which ones could they potentially change? That came into my thinking as well. But I don't think it's going to be one of those. I think it's going to be Gunther for the first match. And then for the second match, I was reading something that's quite interesting. If you'd put it up to just Logan Paul and Kevin Owens, Logan Paul couldn't do anything quite like heel or underhand. Whereas when you put it as a triple threat, he can be more heel and underhand and kind of use the brass knuckles, use weapons, use whatever else. So for that reason, and for the fact that I think they've got quite a good champion in Logan Paul, I don't see Kevin Owens or Randy Orton having the same sort of title reign, because at the minute, the way that it's going is that everybody just dislikes Logan Paul. He really loves himself. The crowd is split. Some like, some don't. So at the minute, I think that's a perfect angle for them. So my two picks are Gunther and Logan Paul. Heel Batman. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I was literally... I'm not just copying you, Sam, I swear. I swear I was going to choose them. I was gonna choose them. But, like I said before, I'm heel Batman. So, I'm going Gunther because I'm being safe for that one. But, for the United States Championship triple threat match, I think I'm going to go Kevin Owens, right? I think...
Okay.
I think it... To be honest with you, I think Logan Paul's going to win. But I'm going for Kevin Owens because you chose Logan Paul and I'm heel Batman. And there is a possibility. So I'm going for Kevin Owens.
Nice.
I'm locking it in.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's completely out of the question. I think it's completely out of the question for Randy Orton. I think, again, it's one of those matches that they've just put Randy Orton into to give him a WrestleMania match because it just doesn't make sense for the whole story of how Kevin Owens and Logan Paul have been at each other for quite a while for Randy Orton to just come in and kind of take the title off them. Again, we could be all wrong, but I don't see that happening. Guess what's your thinking behind these two?
There's an important detail to remember throughout WrestleMania and involving Logan Paul. That godforsaken Prime logo is going to be in the middle of the ring canvas.
I forgot about that.
Fuck.
So, and there would be nothing I'd love more than for Logan Paul to get beaten to a pulp on that very logo. However, I don't want to I don't want to be on the same page as heel Batman a lot. I'm going for Gunther, obviously, but I personally would. I think Logan Paul would retain, but we'll see what the other my fellow guests will think about that.
You had me excited there, Posh. I thought you were gonna go for the man, Kevin.
See, I'm going to disagree with all of you. I've got Orton. I don't entirely know why. Because I don't think Logan's going to retain. I think he's going to disappear again after Mania. I can kind of see him just sort of. This isn't a prediction of what I think is going to happen. Well, it is, but I think he's going to kind of like slip out of the ring, and maybe even sit at commentary and just watch the two of them beat the living hell out of each other. They're both down on the canvas. He stood on the Prime logo, sort of going, okay, I can pin both of them. And they both just kick out. But correct me if I'm wrong, has Orton ever won the United States title?
Yes, I think he did a few years ago, but it was like quite short.
Okay.
They probably just wanted him to have every title in the company that he could. You know, there's only a couple people who've done that, so definitely a good idea to make him one of them.
Yeah. So, but yeah. I've gone awesome, but I'm happy for whoever guest to say it.
I want to go Logan Paul. I would also go Logan Paul and Gunther, by the way.
So, again, executive decision because Lee has spoken as well. Lee says Logan Paul and Gunther. But if it comes down to this match between who's champ and it is Randy Orton that's won, don't send out the SOS messages and the hate to me because it's not my fault. I'm just being the collective for the guests.
I was told it against all of you. If Orton wins,
it would just constantly message us saying, "Told you so, told you so."
Yeah, you'll just get a thing from me just being like,
yeah, you know.
I'm happy with the decision, fellow guests.
We're back down to so 3 matches left. So we're going to go just a quick fire one on this one because then I think we'll have more time to speak about two kind of main events. So I don't want any thought behind it. I just want a straight fire prediction. Give me a name. Heel Batman, Seth or Drew?
Drew.
Guess.
And then cash in.
Cash in. Again, like I did earlier, because Heel Batman was the first to say that. If it does cash in, I will give an extra point to Heel Batman, like I did with the squat analogy that was made. So, yes, guests. I'm going to come to one of you. It's going to be randomly chosen, and I want one name. And then hopefully, collectively, you don't shout at each other and you all come up with the same decision and your minds telepathically connect when I ask this one person. So, Zach, since they went against you in the last prediction, are you going with Seth or Drew?
I'm going Drew. I'm agreeing with Heel Batman.
And I'll go with Zach just to make him feel better about the whole Randy Orton thing.
I was going to choose Drew.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were linked up telepathically. Yeah.
So I'm going to go to Heel Batman for these next two because I think he has been thinking up this for a long time. And I'm dying to hear what he's got to think because he's been holding it in now, and I bet he's dying to let the world know what he's thinking. So
I can't wait.
I want the prediction for both main events. So the tag team match in the first night, and then the singles match in the second night, and then I want to hear this amazing story that you've been building up for the whole of this episode of the show. So I'm going to do something right here and
we've lost the host. Oh, he's back.
It's like reorganizing us. No.
What the? What's going on? What's going on?
Place is dark. Oh my gosh, I'm back.
That was
Hill
confusing.
Batman, are you hacking us?
I don't know where I just went, guys.
Definitely not.
Right.
What's
so
going
what
on?
I'm going to try and do is. So what I'm going to try and do is put you on the screen yourself, so you've got the whole spotlight. But it's not having it. It's really not allowed. To do
Oh
this.
yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay, boys. Right. Listen to me. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the tag team match, right? But besides the tag team match, this is amazing. Think back to the invasion angle. We're going pure invasion angle. That's what's going to happen. We didn't even talk about this. We all saw what happened with the Rock and Cody on Raw. On the truck in the background, we had a little Easter egg, if you want to call it that. Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, massive superstars. They're going to return, come to the aid of Cody, and that's what's going to happen. The Usos come out, both faces, both together in unison, and there you have it. Finish the story. Welcome back, boys. Oh shit, what's happened?
Incredible.
There we go. What do you think? What do you think?
I'll be honest, I hadn't even noticed that Easter egg.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I've got, so my take on it is Rhodes and Rollins win, Rock takes the pin, and then Roman basically loses it with the Rock, being like, well, you've screwed me over. And then on night 2, Rock costs Reigns in that match. Because he's the Rock, you don't go against the Rock.
You don't go against the Rock. That's for sure.
So that's my take on it.
So,
Can I say
Well,
I was going to say if my fellow guests want to go with Cody, I will more than happily respect their decision and go with the majority decision. But much like Zach when he warned us about Randy Orton in the US title match, I have a feeling, right? So I think Seth and Cody will win on night 1. Night 2, Roman and Cody happens. For whatever reason, even though it doesn't make much sense, Seth will somehow turn on Cody and Roman wins, and we have to go through it all over again.
No.
But I will more than happily go with the majority decision if my guests are going to go with Cody, and I'll have Cody win. But don't say I didn't warn you.
So I almost had a almost complete opposite take, where, because I don't think they're gonna have Roman lose at both events. So I think Cody and Seth are gonna lose the first night. It's gonna give like Roman and Rock and the whole group, like I could see after that, just like like heel Batman stated, I could see a family gathering after that where maybe they all come out, they beat up on Cody a little bit more, maybe beat up on Seth a little bit, or they do all the stuff, and then night 2 they're coming in super amped up, like more of a family, more together, bloodline is stronger than ever, and then that's when Cody gets over and actually finishes his story. And honestly, I would think it's one of those things where, like, maybe even if the bloodline gets involved, Cody still pulls it out somehow. Like,
Mm.
and then whether or not that's the end of the bloodline or just like a start of a new story between Cody and Roman, but like in the opposite direction, or like now Roman is trying to get the title, you know, and he's trying to do his story, I guess. Like, you know, was chapter 2 to the story, book 2 or something. I don't know what's going on, but like, I feel like that's gonna be, because it could be like one of those things where the bloodline has their whole night and the whole like all the confetti comes down on them night 1, night 2 get the same. We get Cody to come down with the championship and go up on the top, and you know, everybody gets their photos and everything. We're gonna get some great Instagram photos off of this.
Yeah. Get Mama Rhodes involved.
So I've kind of got
Mama Rhodes low blows the Rock.
Mama Rose comes in and fights the Rock's mom for a second.
Oh, actually, that's quite a good shout. What do you reckon about Dustin coming back? Do you reckon? What's going on with him at AEW? Anyway,
He might be still under contract. I'm not sure.
Is he?
It would be nice. It would be really nice to see Dustin come out and you know, if Cody wins and they're together celebrating, that could be really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Quick side note.
So, go on.
I was just thinking about Solo because he's the enforcer, but I think he needs a push soon. I think he needs to break away from the bloodline.
I can see that.
So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I would quite like to see, even if it's just like Cody wins, Roman's looking for some support with Solo, because he's like the right-hand man, and Solo just walks away.
Yeah, he's like, you're no head of the table. Look at you.
Yeah.
Weak.
Doesn't talk, just looks down at him.
Not the head of my table.
And then just walks up the ramp.
So, I've got lost in all the theories and stuff. So, heel Batman, could you confirm to me what your predictions are for the tag match first and then the main event?
I'm going to say tag match, Rock and Roman. And Cody finishes the story in magnificent big style with Stone Cold and John Cena and the Usos together and Goldust, everyone. I hope that happens. I'd love that to happen, to be honest.
I've picked the same as heel Batman. Guests, what is our final decision?
Well, I've told you my prediction, but I'm going to go with the predictions of my fellow guests, and I think it's Rock and Roman will win the tag, and then Cody overcomes all the odds and beats Roman.
Yeah.
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 As much as I like my theory, Ivan has convinced me with his take. But you've got a united, strong bloodline going into the second night, and then it's chaos.
Yeah.
So that is what happens pre-Mania. The predictions are in. They're in.
Wait, what was your prediction, Sam?
It's Hallie's Day.
Did we get Sam's?
I didn't hear Sam's.
I think he agreed.
Yeah, I said that mine was the same as his. Rock and Roman, Cody Rhodes. So these now are locked in. If anybody now wants to change their predictions, I will give them a big fat absolutely not. So this is what they are now. And yeah, this book will be now closed until after Mania. and it's now closed. So when Mania is done, we will then open that up on the next live after Mania. And yeah, just to say that won't be one not to be missed, because there could be some words exchanged in that live, that's for sure. So
There's going to be a lot of this.
that's where we are.
When it comes to the main event, I told you.
Yeah.
Touche.
There's also a bonus points on the line. I'm going to have my own bonus point prediction. I don't quite know what that is yet because I didn't think about it before. I didn't think I was going to be rewarding bonus points. I am going to say that my extra point will be if we see Stone Cold, John Cena, and Hulk Hogan all on WrestleMania 40.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
And also, if we see, so also if we see Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame entry being presented by some of ECW wrestlers, with it being in Philadelphia. So that's my extra point. So yeah, that's really where we are going into the state of play of WrestleMania. In terms of what this channel's plans are over WrestleMania, if you didn't catch the live stream last time, night one, we're going to be live both evenings. In night one, you'll be in the capable hands of Kyle and everyone else that is of a normal time in the day for WrestleMania to be at. So I don't know whether that's going to be Kyle and Devon. I'm going to call you Devon because everybody else is going to change your name, but I'm sticking to it.
He's the heel
because
Batman
it
now.
it feels wrong. Yeah, it feels wrong. It feels wrong to call you anything else because when I first met you, that's what I called you, and I'm going to keep it the same now. So it would be those two currently that will be live on the channel for night one. I don't know if between now and then anyone else will join because we've had a couple of new people join our team. So it could be those two and someone else, or it could be just those two. And then night two,
The viewers, that's who it'll be. You guys.
True that. So night two, as long as I am able to speak to my place of work and get the day off afterwards, because I'm not staying up till 4 or 5 in the morning to then go to work at 9 the next morning. That's just not doable. So night two, hopefully, will be myself, heel Batman, or Kyle, whichever alter alias you want to be associated with. Jordan, potentially, who you haven't seen in a little while on the channel. And then, obviously, anybody else that is around is also welcome. But they're the names that we have so far. How it's going to work is, obviously, as you know, we can't show you any of the matches, although we can sit like we are now, watch it all at the same time, and kind of give our live raw reactions to it all. There will be no mention on either nights of the predictions because I don't want fighting on the live streams. So I'm going to impose that predictions are not mentioned on the 2 nights, and I'm going to make it a little tastier because if it is mentioned on the night, I may or may not be taking points off the person that mentions it. So there's another little stipulation.
I could just see it now.
Yeah,
Stone Cold and Cena come out. I'm just there
Oh,
like, I
man.
told you. I fucking told you.
I'm gonna be 2 drinks in. I'm gonna be like, wait, what? I predicted that.
I was gonna say, does that count in like our own Wrestle? If I drop something in the Wrestle Dogs chat, does that also count?
I'm going to go with no, because the viewers can't see what that is. So there can be healthy competition in our own private chat.
Oh, nice.
But otherwise, I don't want any mention of it because I don't
No
want
screw jobs.
any of you. Yeah, I don't want any of the viewers to know who's champion.
It's gonna be like we got our bad word of the day. It's just predictions. Like, just don't say the word.
Yeah. I will be watching. I will be going back. Don't you think that because I am not live on night 1 that I won't be finding out if you two have been talking about predictions when I'm not there? So I don't think you can get away.
Heel Batman does what he wants.
Heel Batman will lose points then. So it's up to Heel Batman.
Heel Batman's got the belt.
Not for long.
The belt doesn't
I'll be sending it through
the
the
belt
post
doesn't
next
mean
week.
anything if you're not champion. You're just doing one of these cool angles where you've got the belt and you're not the champion. So
I'm gonna need to get a case.
So yeah, I think that's basically. Yeah. Right. So that's basically all I've got in terms of this week's episode. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. It's nice to see over the last few live streams we've got people consistently staying in the streams. Like there isn't a point today that I'm really pleased about. There isn't a point today that we haven't had no one watching the stream, which I think is quite impressive actually, because obviously we can't see who's coming in and out of the stream. But to keep somebody's attention for the whole hour and a half, where most of the time we're just making inside jokes or having so yeah. Appreciate everyone tuning in as well.
Come join us in the jokes.
Yeah.
So yeah, first of all, I'm going to go around our guests first of all. So Zach, this is the part of the show that you kind of, if you want to give away your social medias, you can. Like Devon and Posh have got YouTube channels they represent, so they can kind of give away the details to that. Yeah, it's completely up to you what you give out. Bearing in mind, I've always gave out my social medias on this channel and on other wrestling and Arsenal related channels, and I don't think anybody's ever followed me off of me saying my social medias. But yeah, I'm going to stop babbling now and leave you to it.
Well, I do have Twitter/X, but I never use it. So if you want to give me some hate on that, I can't even remember what the handle is. I think it's Zach HS or something like that. My Instagram is at I am Mr. Smith with hashtags, with underscores between all the words. Yeah, if you want to follow my random posts, mainly traveling, feel free.
Hey, Posh. They probably already know where to find you on Goonie Gathering with Lee himself. But yeah, I'll leave you to it.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter or X at PoshBertie. My Instagram is at BertieOneless. I also run Gooner Gathering's Instagram account. And as Sam just mentioned, you can find me and Mr. Meadows, who's been in the chat. You can find us on youtube.com/Gooner Gathering. And we'll be live tomorrow for obvious Very stressful reasons.
Wait, hold on. What's tomorrow?
Arsenal.
Man City versus Arsenal in the Premier League.
A big day. Yeah, a big day in the world of football. That is retracted from the channel.
Come on,
And,
just give me a draw. That's all I want.
Wait. I don't know which city I should go for.
Liverpool. You want
I
Liverpool?
was gonna make a prediction right
United.
now. I will be honest. I
Well,
know the
If
team
we're
I
gonna
know
talk
more about
if we're
is
gonna talk
United.
about football, I've got a notification. I've just got a notification that's popped through that Brentford have actually hit the post and the crossbar, but can't find a way to score past Man United. So
But yeah, let's keep it that way as well. Yeah.
there we are.
You can
so,
find me at
I'm not
Devon
gonna-
Rucker. Oh, go ahead. Oh, it's on me.
I think he was just setting you up. To be
Wait,
honest.
it's not Devon?
Yeah. Hey, you can just type in the name that you see on the screen into YouTube, and you will see my channel. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I never give this out, but I mean, I don't really care. Black Hippie 1221. Go ahead and follow that on Instagram. Also, I have merch. I got all the stuff. Yeah, nice shirts, all the stuff. Fun stuff. Join lots of fun stuff we do over there, including live streams with sometimes heel Batman makes an appearance on our live streams as well. So you might see some
Watching
fun stuff there.
Weird movies.
Yeah, we might watch some
To
weird
say the
movies
least.
on Sundays. Who knows what we're gonna be doing. over
Wait,
this
that sounds
weekend.
kind of mad. We don't watch.
No, they're
weird
not
movies.
crazy weird. They're just that bad produced movies. Very badly produced movies.
Well, I'll leave that up to the viewer's imagination as to what goes on Sunday streams.
They are legal in all 50
Because to me,
states.
it sounds a little bit dodgy to say so myself.
Are they legal in the UK?
Oh yeah, they're also legal in the
Wow.
UK.
Well, I won't be condoning any of that on this channel. Obviously, it's up to them what they do on the Sundays. But we at Wrestle Dawgs do not condone anything dodgy that goes on over there. So, this is the part of the show that I asked Kyle what's kind of coming up in the pipeline. Normally, what happens is he says, I've got a couple of videos, but I can't really tell you what they are. So, yeah, let's see today if it's any different.
Well, last time I gave you some info, and I'm going to give you some more info. We've got another Wrestlemania video in the works. It's going to be about the classic WrestleMania 22 match between Mick Foley and Edge, and the rivalry. Well, what led up to that match. So we're just going to take a look back at that in retrospect and enjoy the ride, the hardcore ride.
You sold me.
That sounds really exciting. So, basically, the rest of what I've got to say is the bits that, unless you're new around here, you kind of already know. We have a Patreon that's at the top of the screen. We have lots of ideas for that in the.
We also have
pipeline.
merch.
So,
We also have
if and when
merch.
that takes.
Merch.
Hey, I was going to get to that next, but yes, we do have merch.
Couldn't help myself.
I'm hoping that I'm hoping that we have some of the different designs to show you on the streams over WrestleMania. But yeah, go and check that out. That is, if you go to the bottom of the channel, you go to where you can subscribe to us. If you click down and see the descriptions in the videos, it will be there along with all the other links as well. So yeah, I'm counting down that day, that one day when we're out and about, that somebody will have the merch on, and then
the dogs are growing strong. One day,
when somebody else
One day.
Yeah, I hope so. So yeah, that's basically it. Again, thanks to everyone that's tuning in. And yeah, some big stuff coming up in terms of the videos coming, but then some big stuff in terms of the watch-alongs. We hope to see as many of you as you can over those watch-alongs. I think we'll definitely bring an alternative commentary that WWE only wish that they could have. That's for sure. So, yeah, heel Batman is currently struggling at the moment.
Yeah, I've got an eyelash in my eye and
because
it's killing me.
even superheroes struggle sometimes. So
Yeah.
on that note, we will. I don't think we'll see you before WrestleMania in terms of lives now, but
We'll see you
keep the
at
eye out in
WrestleMania.
terms of the streams coming.
You'll be.
And yeah, that's it. I'm going to go off and watch the watch one of the new DVDs that I picked up because I've been told that the Triangle Ladder match between the Hardy Boys, the Dudleys, and someone else is a fantastic match. So I'm going to go off and watch that.
Edge and Christian.
So I have one more that's just come up. I'm going to put that up before we go. I'm going to gather it himself. So there's point to the sign. I think that is a really good ending to the
point to the
video.
Patreon link.
So hope everyone has a lovely rest of their evening.
Patreon's over here.
Just a quick plug. And yeah, see you all soon.